Capcom, it's good knowing you. Before I begin, the one thing I need to talk about is Resident Evil 5 Remake. The question we should be asking ourselves, will it be developed or not? Just recently, Capcom has just made more censorship on Dead Rising Deluxe Remake or Remastered, which is why we recommend play the original instead of the remake. Some Capcom games... Well, before I continue this, let me show you an article from Bounding Into Comics. Here it is. I'm not going to show the whole thing. Now remember one thing, this is all localizers. This is one thing, it will be cut. Cliff Hudson dialogue line, because this is a Vietnam vet. If you don't know, Cliff Hudson was actually a Vietnam vet in this game. If I had to make a guess, but then again, don't forget, the localizers have embraced socialism. Well, it is different from the People's Republic of China. But as you can see right here, let me tell you. This is the one. This is the line. The dialogue says, "You can't tell me, can you, fella? Oh yeah, I know why. Because you're a Viet Cong. I'm right." See? Right here. This is the one thing they are going to censor. Now, there are many other censorship, like the mall cop. If you guys don't know, with localizers, there are many things Capcom will change. Besides Larry Chang, there's also the other villain. I believe what's the other villain? I need to check. Hang on a sec. Joe Slade. Joe Slade, who is a mall cop, a woman. If you know her size, this is something they're going to change. I'm most certain they will. I know it's not relevant, but I had to put it in. Now for Resident Evil 5 Remake, the one thing that is the problematic when it comes to this is the NPCs. We all know Resident Evil 5 takes place in Africa, which I think that is the first thing they're going to change if they ever remake it, or they don't. They cancel it. I mean, I know Capcom has their own remake division. I mean, they didn't make better remakes such as Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4 remake. Resident Evil 5 is gonna be a tough one to make, or even remake at this point. You guys have to know one thing. It is because of the settings, many people, they don't want Resident Evil 5 to be remade. They want to be rewritten, meaning they want the game to be set in other places besides Africa, which that is the one problem. So at this point, the only way Capcom is going to remake Resident Evil 5, well, make Resident Evil 5 Remake, is to, or perhaps end the localizer, reject localizers, or focus on AI. Anime is doing the same thing. Right now, Capcom and Square Enix, I mean, I don't know how many games that's going to be made, or flop games is going to be made before Capcom and Square Enix going to open their eyes that their bottom line is hurting. I believe by the time Black Myth Wukong release on launch, Capcom and Square Enix, they're probably going to see their game will not catch up with Black Myth Wukong. Despite I know for certain that Black Myth Wukong will get a low score, say 50 or 55 or 60 or 70. Player count is extremely high. It's gonna be more than 1 million players or 10, whatever it is. Because Black Myth Wukong is #1 wishlist on Steam. And they are now benchmarking it in PC to know if your computer will run it. I will play on the PS5, just in case if my laptop couldn't run it. I don't know, guys. Like I said, I think for my Capcom games, mostly if Resident Evil 5 Remake will not happen, I guess I could play the original, and the last Capcom games I will be playing is either Devil May Cry 5, DMC, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Resident Evil Village. These are the 4 games that will be the last Capcom game until they give something that, well, won't be a ESG or DEI product. But that's just me.
Simmons!
Well, this is unexpected.
No! Wait!
Ah, Agent Birkin, impeccable timing. Kindly take these 2 into custody, won't you?
They said you were involved in the terrorist attack. Is it true?
What? Are they running down the street screaming it to anyone who'll listen?
Answer me!
It's for the benefit of the United States and global security.
Can't see how killing the president is good for the country!
Leave a like and subscribe. And if you want any gaming news, reviews, or anything, you can visit my first channel up here or link in the description.